Welcome back. Joining me now is Charles Dixon, Program Coordinator of the Young Fathers Program. Welcome.
Thank you.
Charles, start off by giving us some background on your program, because you've been around for like 10 years now?
Yes, absolutely.
How would you describe the purpose?
The initial purpose of the program, primarily to assist these young men taking that awesome responsibility for the family, help them to develop, help them to mature, help them to see prospectively as a young father. And it's a great challenge in these days and times. Help them to have a sense of confidence, self-assurance, to feel good about themselves, as well as taking responsibility for their family.
Mm-hmm. Now, we just heard Karen from Planned Parenthood talk about how they don't have many programs available to young men on teen pregnancy.
Sure.
Are young men being neglected, you think, when it comes to parenting?
I think in the last 10 years I've been UMD&J, I've discovered that there's not a lot of programs in existence out there. Early on when I first came to the program, many young men really didn't even come into the clinic, the maternal infant care unit there. They would sit on the outside or outside the clinic, whereas the young ladies would basically obtain the services. The young men would primarily sit there and say, well, you know, I'm waiting here for my young lady to come back. And so we asked the question, you know, even though the services are designed for the young mother and the child, but what role does the father play? In many respects, across our nation, many fathers have been neglected. And I think we have to change our sort of policy. We need to change our program designs. And I think it's important to do so, because then again, if the young lady is receiving most of the education, the child care, et cetera, for the family,
so should the father.
Then what should the father do? And I think it's important for him to be included in the picture as well.
Good point.
Sure.
What about the media? Do you think the media portrays an accurate image of teen fathers, specifically African-American teen fathers?
Absolutely not. I believe the media doesn't play a really positive role in really depicting African-American males in our community. Matter of fact, there are some concerns going on right now in the city of Newark that we're working on some campaigns to really change the focus, because constantly we're hearing more so than we ever heard in the last 5-10 years, deadbeat dads. We're constantly hearing about deadbeat dads. But what about the young man that's really involved? The young man was earlier seen in this piece, taking responsibility for his family. But I asked the question also, are we really concerned about his issues? Or is it society that we say, well, a man, he's supposed to be strong and supposed to be tough, and he's supposed to be a man and take on the responsibility on his own? The reality of that, many of these young men have issues, they have some concerns in their lives, and they can't do it alone. We need comprehensive services for males to take responsibility.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the services and programs that you offer.
Sure. One of the primary services that we offer is the counseling service, and I think that's very important. The young men walking in the door and really want to know about, how do I take on the responsibility for the family? I'm having some issues, some problems with my girlfriend, the relationship. How do I take on this great, awesome responsibility? 50% of these fathers are expected fathers. So many of these guys having anxiety, just as the young ladies having anxiety. Some of the other areas we look at, and one of the critical concerns is the employment piece. We see 60-70% of the fathers exclusively coming in for jobs. These guys are saying, I really want to take the responsibility for the family, but I need to find
And it's tough for any teen to find a job, so I could imagine that it's tough. How would you describe the majority of the young men that you deal with, age-wise, employment status?
Okay, most of the young men that come into programs are 19, 20 years of age. Predominantly, most of these guys are unemployed. They're coming asking for jobs. 48% of these guys have completed high school. You see 37% of these guys, they have dropped out of high school. And then we have a 15% number of fathers. And these young men primarily are in school. And our role is to really encourage these guys to stay in school, try to provide the motivation, a sense of confidence. And I think that what's happening in many of these guys' lives, they haven't seen fathers in their own home. And so I think the role that we play in the program as staff is to sort of almost to compensate, or we become their big brothers or their fathers in many respects, to motivate them, encourage them to continue their education.
How much do you get into birth control and abstinence?
I think that we talk about birth control methods, we talk about abstinence, and I think that we have to provide an option for these fathers, even though these fathers have come in the door, obviously expected fathers, but we also want to help these guys to deal with the right here and right now, to prepare for your future, to look ahead in your life and say, what do you really want to become? Because one of the other things they want to ask themselves in the future, when their child look at them, how do they want to be perceived by their child? I think that's very important. So we use that to motivate the guys to continue their whether it's education and be a responsible young man.
Charles, before we run out of time, I want to make sure we talk about Father's Appreciation Week.
Certainly.
The celebration. Tell us about that.
Right. In the state of New Jersey, Governor Whitman, Christine Whitman, issued a proclamation declaring Father's Appreciation Week across the state of New Jersey, which is something very important. We're celebrating responsible fatherhood. In the city of Newark, June the 9th, we're having a rally in steps of City Hall. We're bringing men together. We're challenging those stereotypical views of African American males, and also not just African American males, but also for men in general. We're bringing men together to just really stand strong, standing for our family. We have a conference that's dealing with media issues. It's going to be a great event.
So a lot of important things happening.
Absolutely.
Okay, Charles, we're out of time. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
If you'd like more information on the annual Father's Appreciation Week celebration, which runs from June 9th through June 15th, you can call area code 201-982-5531. That's it for our program this week. Thanks for joining us, and we'd like to hear your comments. You can write to us at Another View, CN 777, Trenton, New Jersey, 08625. Or you can call us at area code 609-777-5247. For Another View, I'm Karen Smiles.